Everybody, as you know that we're approaching fast to the holiday of Passover, and being again of Chaim Kanievsky, who passed away only a week ago, I wanted to say a story that shows the fact that how much important it is to stick to the advice of our rabbis, our Jewish mentors, and to go there to make the right decisions, and we'll never lose from that. And the following story is going to demonstrate that, hopefully. There was an Orthodox Jew who was also a businessman, and he always used to go with his suit and tie and hat to every meeting that he had. But he noticed, when you have big time meetings with a lot of rich people, they usually close deals at a very expensive restaurant with a very special dining. And he noticed that people looking a little awkward at him, the fact that he's coming with his, hat, and he puts his hat on for blessing after the meals and what have you. So he felt a little awkward over time. So he went to Rav Chaim Kanievsky, that's out, to ask him for his advice if he is allowed to not to take his hat at least with him. Suits, everybody wears suits, but not to take his hat with him. Maybe he'll get a better deal, or that's what he thought. Rav Chaim Kanievsky thought about it, and he said, don't worry about it. Keep going with your hat, and I give you a blessing, and I promise you that you're going to get even better deals. So, he does obviously what Rav Chaim tells him to do. He has this special faith in the rabbis that learn Torah all day, and they give the right advice. So he went, and he had a $5 million meeting with a potential client in a high-class, of course, kosher restaurants. Everybody respected him. So they went to a glad kosher restaurant. They had the meeting, and over the meal, his customer wanted to obviously to get the lower amount, and he wanted to get the higher amount. And it seemed like the meeting wasn't going so well, and they didn't agree on the amount that he wanted. So he remembered the promise he made to Rav Chaim. At the end of the meal, he went to wash his hands, and he went to get his jacket and put his hat on, and he came back to the table. I was about to say the blessing after the meal, and the person who was opposite him, the customer, the client, he said, you know what? I went back on my mind. I'm going to agree to your the amount that you said, which is a very substantial amount. Time by means of dollars here, extra. Okay, so he says the blessing of the meals, and they sign, and he said, what made you change your mind? This Orthodox Jew asked his client. He said, when you got up and you put on your hat, I thought you were leaving. And I was bluffing. I was trying to get you down, the price down. But since I saw you leaving, and I saw that you're not budging, I figured I have nothing else to do but to give in to your price. And he came back and he told the story over that because he put his hat back on to do what Rav Chaim told him to do, not only he lost, but he gained millions of more dollars. So we see from this, where you never lose out. You should never be embarrassed of who you are, just like our forefathers came out of Egypt, not changing their language, not changing their clothing or their names. You should not be embarrassed of these things, and actually stick to the Torah and to your dress code, because you are what you wear, and that impacts who you are as a person and impacts everybody around you, and only blessings could come out of that. Happy Passover.